What's going on, creators? Welcome back to the channel, and this video is totally different. It's not a photo shoot, it's not a tutorial. It's actually me going behind the scenes at an expo. It's my first time being like kind of this interview person, which is kind of weird. I felt like I was like Channel 6. Big shout out to Bud Studios who actually put the expo together. It was really awesome seeing camera brands and even like cinematography, like gear, like the crazy big stuff that I probably would never touch ever. They had brands such as Cook America, which is like a high-end cinema lenses. That's the company that actually shot Lord of the Rings, so they used some of their lenses actually. Canon was there, some dude with the jib of some crazy stuff. I decided to go over there and just hang out and just interview a few people that I think would benefit you guys. Maybe you might be interested in cinema style lenses, or maybe interested in leveling up your camera gear and maybe jumping up to like the more cinema kind of style cameras. So, you know, it's all new to me. Big shout out to Buzz for letting me be a part of it. And yeah, so enjoy the video. It's a little longer than normal. Just, you know, enjoy it, you know, and feel free to comment below if there's anything in particular that might be cool for me to check out in the channel. Again, this is just for you guys. I had a lot of fun doing it. The whole purpose of my channel is for us to grow together and journey off into like things that I might never done before, and the fact that I was able to go ahead and interview a few of these vendors. It was really awesome. So yeah, definitely check it out. If you have any questions, or maybe there's a piece of gear that you see in the video that might be cool for the channel, just let me know. I can try to see if I can get it. I'm not sure, can't promise you anything, but yeah, just enjoy the video. Peace. What's going on, creators? I'm here at Expressway Rentals in the Gear Expo 2019, and I'm just here hanging out with them, hanging out at their location at Bud Studios. And there's a bunch of really awesome gear here. I'm going to be interviewing a few of the vendors that I think would be awesome for you guys to check out. If you know them, you don't know them, links down below in the description box. Let's get to it. I'm really pumped about all this stuff, so thanks for Buzz for letting me come over here and hang out with them and check out the facilities, and also just check out all the awesome gear that's here. And there's a really cool jib on a car, so watch out for that. What's going on, creatives? I'm at the Expressway Rentals Gear Expo 2019. I'm at the Canon booth with my buddy Ryan here. We're actually going through the assortment of lenses and the different gear that they have, including like the C700. It's pretty awesome stuff. And we're actually going to talk briefly, not even briefly, I just want to like talk about like, there's so much involved with this Canon R right now, and my first time seeing it in person, which is pretty awesome. Definitely, I just want to let me know all the information in here, because I know there's a lot of people that we're skeptical on getting in purchasing this camera, even trying it out. I am actually interested in trying out and testing it out one of these days for the channel. So definitely drop that knowledge.
Sure,
drop that knowledge.
Absolutely. So the EOS are highly anticipated, of course. We had the EOS M's around. They were the crop sensor, interchangeable lens, mirrorless cameras. Yeah. The R is the first of the full frame cameras. With the R, it features a new RF mount, so it's a new lens mount. It's actually a much closer back focus distance and back flange distance, 20 millimeters versus 44 on the traditional DSLRs. So that just means that the lenses themselves are going to be higher quality moving forward. It really presents the engineers a lot of freedom to make a really high quality lens for this camera because of that back element being so close to the sensor. Yeah. Speaking of the sensor, it's very similar to the 5D Mark IV. It's a 30 megapixel sensor, so lots of capability for cropping in on the images. Plus, it's incredible in low light, right up there with the 5D IV. I think even a little bit better, especially when you're getting into higher ISOs. 6400, I don't hesitate at all to shoot with it. So we have a couple lenses that we've already put out for this. The 24-105 kit. That's your standard f4, but it's a really great iteration of this. We have a 35 millimeter macro that's out. Yeah. We have the statement piece, the 28-70 f2, which is just a giant lens, and then the 51-2. Yeah. But then we also made a development announcement for the Trinity, if you will, the 2.8s. So a 15-35, 24-70, and a 70-200 that are slated for release. At some point, we don't have an exact date.
End of like third quarter or maybe fourth quarter.
Possibly end of fourth quarter, but not quite sure yet. Yeah.
It's NDA, guys. We don't know yet. No, that's awesome. So I mean, if you were to recommend this camera, would it be for like? Is it pro series? I mean, I've seen a lot of professionals actually using this camera for weddings, and it comes out great. Do you think that, or do you recommend those that are starting off into photography, just go ahead and jump right in?
I think this is a great camera for anybody stepping up their photography skills, either from a smartphone or even stepping up from a lower end DSLR. If they're coming up from like a Rebel or something like that, or any other brand, it's intuitive. You can really customize the camera the way that it works right for you as far as the controls, the dials. Pretty much every button on here can be remapped for another function. So you can really, it can become a part of you. I think the EVF is awesome on here. You really don't know that you're looking at an EVF. It just becomes natural, as well as the focusing and moving the AF points around on it. It's just very, very easy to get a hold of, and it creates a beautiful image.
Yeah, and I noticed that it doesn't have a joystick like the other cameras, right? So I know that it's like this slider thing. Now, I haven't touched it or tried it out. What are your thoughts on it? Like, you know, from other users, maybe they've spoken to you about it. Like, what have they said about it?
Yeah, the touch control bar is interesting. I found I really like to set up Kelvin value for white balance on it for when I'm shooting JPEGs or video. I have really easy access to just kind of swipe through those numbers. But a lot of people will have very specific shooting scenarios with ISOs. So if they're doing an event, they know they're either going to be shooting, you know, 100 ISO or 800. And that's something that you can assign right there as a shortcut right on that touch bar. So it's really, again, customizable for the user, whatever they want to set it up as. You know, as far as the other customization that you could do, all the RF lenses have a extra control ring dial on them that you could set up for white balance or ISO, or I like it as aperture, being a shooter, video shooter mostly. So, you know, you've got a lot of capability. And then you still can use all your existing EF lenses as well with the use of a little adapter here.
Nice.
You know, you can go $100 standard adapter, $200 with the control ring functionality, and now you can use basically our entire line of EF lenses right on the camera.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's an adapter that you can put like an ND filter built in, right?
Yeah, that's not shipping quite yet.
Gotcha. Because I've seen some other people have had it online. I'm like, hey, I haven't seen that yet in person. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great feature, especially for video. Having the ND filters that just drop into the adapter. You've got a little wheel that you can graduate them, and it really does a nice job. You can also do polarizer filter on there as well. So, you know, photography or video, we got you covered with it.
That's awesome, man. Definitely, I mean, check out this EOS R if you haven't yet. I'm hoping maybe in the next week or so, or within the month, grab one of these from a local camera store, maybe possibly test it out, and definitely give you guys my insight on it, do a shoot on it, do some video, do some B-roll, all that good stuff. So you guys have the C700. I want to walk over here real quick, because this is kind of crazy, guys. So, I mean, everyone is like kind of used to seeing like the C200s and all that stuff, and like this right here is a piece of a camera. And definitely want to talk about what's it used for mainly. What do you think, like what kind of users would be wanting to maybe rent or purchase this kind of camera?
Sure.
And because it's like, it's a whole, literally it's like a Canon. Like it's a lot of stuff going on here. It's like even me, as a content creator for like a smaller YouTube channel, I don't need like a huge rig. And this is like, I feel like I might be overwhelmed if I were to grab it right now. Like it looks awesome though.
It is the flagship of the Cinema EOS lineup. Everybody loved the look of the C300 Mark II, the C200, but they wanted a production-ready camera, a camera that's going to make your life easy on set. Industry standard power, you know, anamorphic support, things like that. That's what you get out of the C700. The nice thing is, it's very similar menu-wise to a C300 Mark II, or even all the way down to a C100. If you're comfortable shooting on those cameras, this is not going to be intimidating for you. Everything's where you would expect it to be. So we have a couple different iterations of this camera. We have a Super 35, which is with this one right here. But we've also got a global shutter Super 35, as well as the full frame, which is now shipping as well. And the sensors are modular, the design is modular, so if a rental house has a 35 and they want to swap it out for a full frame, they can do that through our service center.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Now you mentioned the second option, not Super 35, it was the other one?
The global shutter,
The global shutter. So can you explain that for those that might not know what that is?
Absolutely, yeah. Any CMOS sensor is basically a rolling shutter sensor, which, you know, you think about rolling shutter, you get the image in your head of Jello Cam, but that's just basically how the sensor reads out, top to bottom, rather than capturing the entire frame all at once. So we developed a global shutter CMOS sensor on these for shoots where you're going to run into a lot of flash strobing and things like that, because a global shutter camera will negate that flash banding. You won't get half the frame bright and the other half exposed, right? So it's really good for live production,
Oh, gotcha.
things like
Concerts,
that.
maybe?
Absolutely,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, that's the C7. What is C700? This is C700.
C700.
C700, guys. I mean, if you want to purchase it right now, no, I don't know. But this is really awesome. I mean, especially from like, I didn't know you guys even had this. So like, I think that, especially for those that are watching even on my channel, those are just starting off in filmmaking or in photography. Right. Like, they don't know that these kind of cameras are out in the market right now. I mean, they might see the 1DX Mark IIs, but like, this kind of camera is really awesome now. Like, would you actually suggest someone jumping from maybe 1DX Mark II to jump into this, or maybe jumping into maybe something like the C200?
I think if you're in the 1DX range, shooting on DSLRs, it might be a bit of a stretch. I don't know, going up to a full production camera. That's where, you know, we have a camera for every level.
Yeah, you guys do.
And that C200 is a really nice balance point in our lineup where it's small enough, portable enough, it's not intimidating to people to use, but it's super powerful with the raw light codec, and you know, you're getting a camera that's capable of, you know, the picture quality of something like this, but in a smaller body.
That's awesome.
This is definitely a rental camera for most, where, you know, this is, you know, going to be an on-set camera. Yeah.
I have one question. I've heard rumors. Is there or will there ever be a 1DX Mark III?
I read the same rumors that everybody else does, and Canon's really good about not letting us know anything.
That would be really awesome just to kind of hear that out. That'd be great.
We're always working on new models, obviously. You know, the R&D that goes into everything is intense.
A lot of money involved.
As well as the QC process on the other end. So we always have something in the works, but like I said, I'll keep reading the same rumors you do.
Checking it online. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you so much. It's Canon Booth. You know, definitely check out this stuff. Everyone knows what Canon is and the kind of, you know, stuff that they actually offer. But definitely check out the C700. Even if you want to check it out online, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, man. I'm with actually Eric from Cook, right?
Cook Americas, that's correct. Cook Americas.
Cook America. Okay, so if you don't know who these guys are, they actually have some really awesome lenses, especially like the higher end, like cinema style lenses. And if you don't mind just explaining yourself, like a little bit, like what is Cook, the history behind it, what kind of lenses that you guys provide. I know like you guys do like a ton of cool films and have filmed a bunch of stuff, so it'd be awesome just to kind of get to know about what you guys, for those that are getting into the scene and I haven't heard of Cook at all before.
Sure. Most people haven't heard of Cook. You would recognize our films. We are a 131-year-old continuous operating company, so from the silent movie era all the way up to today, we have been a premier optics provider to Hollywood and the motion picture industry. So one of the newest things that we have are the anamorphic full frame lenses. So Cook is now one of the largest producers of anamorphic lenses, which is a different style than a spherical lens. But we've now combined basically full frame format and also the anamorphic format into one. And the Cook engineers have given that a unique squeeze ratio of 1.8. So it's actually a pretty interesting lens, and it's a very exciting time for the format, if you will.
Awesome. Now, real quick, I'm just going to step over here real quick. Now, which lens is this? The 50 millimeter, I'm assuming? Yeah,
this is a demo 50 millimeter anamorphic full frame special flare. So this really does it all. We're hoping to ship this again in the next couple of weeks. We're going to ship out some short sets. But this is an anamorphic full frame lens with our special flare coating. So it has that vintage anamorphic blue streak if you were to shine a key light directly into the lens. So currently shooting on the new Star Trek film. So if there's a point of reference for that, that would be it.
So for those that are like maybe not into or don't know much about filming like through like anamorphic lens, do you mind explaining the process when it comes to? What I remember, it's kind of like you're squeezing the image, and in post you squeeze it back. I'm assuming.
That's exactly what you did. It was a destructive process in and of that you squeezed the image and you unsqueezed it. The destructive part came when you unsqueezed the image, you lost some of the resolution. So in this, traditionally anamorphic was 4:3 spherical. We're doing it in 3:2 in full frame. So if you were to unsqueeze that by half, like a 2-time squeeze, you would lose about 20% of the resolution, which was a bit much. So the Cook engineers ended up using 1.8 for this process. So it still has a very anamorphic look, but yet it's not as destructive. You're not losing all that resolution as you would be if you went for the full 2x squeeze.
Awesome. So you mentioned Star Trek, correct?
Yeah, the new Star Trek Picard is actually the name of it.
So what other movies? What I did see in the reel was I did see Game of Thrones somewhere in there. So can you maybe talk about, if you don't know much about it, I don't know, like which lenses maybe they use or anything like that?
Honestly, I don't, but we have two really good websites. One is Cook Optics TV, which is just about the art and craft of cinematography, and the other is shotoncook.com, which would answer your question. That is projects, art sequences specifically shot using our lenses, and that's a very interesting thing.
No, that's awesome. Eric, thank you so much. If you don't know much about this, check out the site. I'm going to leave it down in the description below in the channel, so you guys can check it out, learn more about it, check out the films that they use these lenses on, and definitely, hopefully, maybe one day I'll rent one of these to test it out, just to check it out. I have a buddy of mine that actually rented a few of these lenses over the weekend, and he just loves it. So it's pretty awesome. But Eric, thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. I'm here with Light Gear, and I'm with John right now. He's one of the reps here from Light Gear, and they have some really cool, awesome lights here, and I want to kind of just touch base and see like what they have to offer, and maybe for you guys who are content creators, filmmakers, see what you guys might be interested in, and definitely let me know. I know we have a product here that you're really interested in.
Yeah, it's called Spectrum, and it just got released at NAB. It was Product of the Year. It's our RGBA CCT full spectrum light. Very easy to control. I have it actually on a controller we're also working with now. You have the color range from 2,000 to 11,000. You can actually control it by knob or by touch.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Once you find your color temperature, you can then saturate it, find your color you like.
Oh, that's really cool.
I'll take the intensity up a little bit.
Yeah, wow.
Pretty easy to do. Maybe if it's too saturated, we'll take it down a little bit. We'll add more white light to it. Now we're back to our white color temperature of 4875. I'll go up again. We're back to our fully saturated color. This is great. It's brand new. We're shipping them at the end of the summer.
Nice.
So we brought it from California.
Nice. So, like, what's the CRI on this? Because I don't know.
95.
95.
Yes, exactly. So if I take it out, you'll see our emitters on the top.
Oh, okay,
Which
that's
are
cool.
basically the same emitters that are in these products right here. I'll take this one up.
Oh, wow. Those are bright.
Yep, very controllable.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We also make these. It's called the light tile.
Okay.
An light tile 8. That's a light mat 8.
Nice.
Actually, I can pop through some of these.
You can control all of them with just one device right here. Oh, that's awesome. So if someone was doing like a bigger like kind of shot, like with like multiple people, or maybe with a band or something like that, and then they'll have all these set up and someone can control it.
Exactly, a TV set. Yeah, you could have a little controller like this. You can bounce around.
Oh snap! Hold on. Go over here, Mona. Over here. Let's check it out over here.
And I can turn the whole rig back on again.
Oh, that's really cool.
Back on.
So then, like, what's the battery life on this unit itself? Does it?
You get 10 hours out of this.
10 hours?
You can just swap it, put another one in.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, it's an
Very
external
simple.
power bank. Oh, okay.
Very easy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great. What So you guys are in New York, right?
We have an office in New York now, in Industry City in Brooklyn. That's where I am. I'm John Velez. Company's based out of Burbank, California. Been doing film and lighting for 15 years.
Wow. I'm gonna have to take a trip over there when I go to Brooklyn, just because.
Got it, Industry City.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it so much. You are bright right now. I'm so bright. We're so bright, but it's okay. All right, guys, so I'm at the booth where I've been wanting to actually reach out to Bob and talk to him about the Blackmagic cinema camera from Blackmagic, and it's a really awesome camera for what I've seen. I have yet to test one out or try it out, so definitely want to give you the time to explain what the camera is about, all the specs, anything interesting that you find yourself using more maybe in the camera, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, sure. So this is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. So this is the evolution of the original Pocket camera, but this one has a 5-inch touchscreen. It has an ISO that goes all the way up to 25,600, good for low light. Yeah. We can record on CPAS 2 cards as well as SD cards, and there's even a way to plug in an external SSD with Thunderbolt 3 USB-C, so you can do long recordings. And it takes the Canon batteries, but we also have a new battery grip that's coming out at the end of the summer that'll give you 2 hours of record time. Has a Micro Four Thirds mount, but you can also get different adapters to put on other lenses. I've seen a lot of people that have put them on Ronins and done all kinds of cool footage. Yeah. I mean, so it's really a small camera that shoots big. And you know, it's a small camera, but you're actually getting really big quality out of it. So a lot of people will use this as a B camera, but they'll get stunning footage. But it's because it's small, they can get it into tight spaces.
Yeah.
It's $1,295. It actually ships with a full version of DaVinci Resolve Studio, which is our color grading software.
Which is amazing for what I've seen so far.
Oh yeah, that one does editing, color grading, visual effects, and audio, Fairlight audio. So it's a really cool package that comes with the full version for the $1,295.
Yeah. Do you recommend starting with a camera like this, or maybe something else within like just using a camera, because this seems like you can do a lot of stuff with this?
Well, the thing about this one is that it's a really great starter camera, but it's also a camera that you'll use for a long time. And even if you decide to move up to one of the bigger cameras, you'll still use this as like a B camera. So it's a really great camera that everybody should give a shot. I mean, the price of it is really just worth it. You can still take stills with it. It's really feature rich.
Yeah. Okay, so personal question for you. What would be your favorite lens to put on this?
Well, you know what? It's funny because I have some old adapters. I have some really old Olympus lenses that are a different mount, but I found an adapter on eBay for $10.
Oh, nice.
And now I can use those lenses. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
so that's kind of the best part about the Micro Four Thirds is that it's adaptable to almost everything.
Now, if you don't know, if you've never seen any of the specs or anything like that, you've seen sample footage, it's all out there on YouTube. Definitely check out Blackmagic's website, and also DaVinci, because DaVinci is, what I've seen, has been amazing, especially with the updates this past, like NAB, and you know, I've been using more of Premiere, but seeing the way DaVinci works, it has like everything kind of all in one.
It's all in one, and you can get started with the free version, which is really jam-packed with stuff. Yep. So, and you can always go to our website, blackmagicdesign.com, and get all the info.
All right, guys, I'm with Chris Albert from Vitek Production Solutions, and we're gonna go over the Sockler. It's a tripod, looks amazing, and there's a ton of stuff. I know my buddy Armando from Mondo Bytes actually reviewed one of these, and Mondo, this is amazing. I mean, it's pretty crazy to see it in person. So definitely want to know more about the tripods, the sizes, and you know, how are these used, and because these are massive. These look amazing and they're massive.
Well, this is called the Flowtech tripod. Now the legs, we make them for our Sockler and Vinton brands.
Okay.
And it's a carbon fiber tripod, lightweight, sturdy, and quick deploy.
Okay.
We call it the world's fastest tripod.
Okay.
It can fit with any of our heads. We make a 100mm version as well as a 75mm version. So it can fit with, again, be used with any of our Sockler or Vinton heads. Okay. It can also be used with a lot of our competitor heads. And the reason we call it the world's fastest tripod is because of the speed at which it can be deployed. That's okay. Made for that. So there's one brake to release for all three stages. And that's it. Your tripod is up and ready to go.
That's awesome.
And that's all it needs. Now it comes with a mid-level spreader that you don't necessarily need because it has a hinge lock system up here at the top. As you can see, the one I have down here, which is the 75mm, we took out the spreader and opened it up. You get 3 different levels, and I'll just show you quickly on this one. That you disengage the hinge lock, open it up, and you get 3 angles. That one gives you low, like that, like a hi-hat. The second one, that is just a little bit wider, a little bit lower than typical, and that's kind of the home base there at that angle. It's all carbon fiber construction, very durable, all weatherproof. If it were to get any sand or water inside, it flows out of the drain holes in the bottom. If it were to get sand or anything inside, you can actually literally hose it out, let it dry. There's nothing in there to rust or corrode. It's a coated steel cable, all carbon fiber, and it'll last you the rest of your career.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. This is crazy. So now, what's the retail value on both, either or, if I want to purchase it or something?
Well, the street value for the 100mm is under $3,500. The 75mm is under $2,000, and that's for the legs only. Now, that's list price. Of course, you can always get better prices from specials and so on.
All right, so you guys saw all the awesome gear, got some cool B-roll. I was able to interview a few of the vendors that I think you guys might be more interested in. Links down below in the description box, all that stuff. I can't wait to actually try out that Canon SF700,000. Might, I don't know, but it's really awesome to see the gear that's coming out. And big shout out to Buds that are putting out an awesome event right now in Philly. It's really awesome to see the community grow, especially the filmmaking community, since I'm diving into that scene right now in Philly, and especially being a photographer. But just meeting a bunch of content creators here, it's really awesome to see all of them, meet all of them, especially those through Rough Cuts. Shout out to Rough Cuts, shout out to Buds, shout out to Expressway Rentals, shout out to the bigfoolishwaffles.com thing that's right there. I don't know. Good stuff. Thanks for watching this video, guys. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button below. Hit the little bell icon to receive notification when I post new videos. I just released a quick challenge with my buddy Josh, latest video. Check that out as well. Share it with your friends. And yeah, if you have any advice or any critiques, feel free to comment below and reach out to me. And definitely want to make this channel better for you guys. And maybe the next time I'll be somewhere else doing kind of interviews. It's not that formal. It's fun. Love this stuff. Peace.